once again, it is time for Kids Blast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Pastor Steve. Hi, boys and girls. And of course, I want to know who's watching. So the count of three, say your name so loud that they can hear you for miles and miles away. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was awesome. Well, like everything, let's start off with a word of prayer, and then we'll get started. Father God, we thank you for today. We thank you for Kids Blast. We thank you for all the people who watch. And we just thank you for who you are. We just ask you to bless our time together and let us have fun as we learn about you. We love you so much. In your name we pray. Everyone said, amen. Well, today on Kids Blast, we're going to talk about something that is important for Christians to do, and that's called fasting. F-A-S-T-I-N-G, fasting. Now, what does that mean? Do you think it means this? Oh, that was fast. But that's not really what we mean. What does fasting mean? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today in Kids Blast with Feathers in our Bible story. And it's very important for Christians. So let's go see Feathers and find out more about fasting.
Okay, one more. Yeah, you take that. Okay, I'll take this one. Okay, pass it over. Oh, you're kind of like swords.
Okay, we better get him up here. Oh, they're up to something. So the count of three, say, come on up, Feathers. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on up, Feathers!
I'll be there in a second. Yeah, you give me one demo. Yeah, thank you. Okay,
You want me to take that?
Yeah, you can have that. That's for you.
Why do we have a metal pole?
Oh, that's not the question at hand. I have so many more questions, Pastor Steve.
Okay.
First, Jinx!
Double jinx.
You said, boys and girls, say hi to Pastor Steve. Hi, Pastor Steve. And then Pastor Steve, you say hi, Pastor Steve back.
Hi, Pastor Steve back.
That's good. Yes, your back is over there. You forgot it over there, I guess.
Can you say, at the count of three, say hi, Feathers? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi, Feathers. Can you say hi, Feathers?
Oh, yes. Hi, Feathers.
Very good.
That was great. We did good. High five.
Okay, questions.
Yes, questions.
I have
Pastor
questions
Steve,
too. Yes.
when is the next thunderstorm? Do you know?
Oh, really? Well, there was clouds in the sky, so I think there's one rolling in pretty soon.
Oh, that's good. Second question.
Okay.
Do we have access to get on top of our roof?
Yeah, we can get up there if we have to. Sure.
That's great. Okay, I'll take the metal pole back and I'll see you later. Okay.
Wait, I got why? First, never get on the roof without permission, and you probably won't get permission.
I just asked permission.
No, you didn't. You asked if we could get up there. You didn't ask if you could go up there.
Can I go up there?
No.
Can Walmart go up there?
The cow?
Yes, my cow. Can he go up there?
No.
Can we all three of us go up there together?
Why do you want to go on the roof?
Well, see, okay, so Pastor Steve, I was listening in earlier, as I do, and I heard you talking about how we need to fast, right? We were talking about fasting, right? And so I was like, what's the fastest I can be? And so I learned this from a TV show once, that if you, during a thunderstorm, get struck by lightning, that you'll get super speed. So I was going to stand on the roof with the metal pole and...
The Flash superhero?
Yeah, the Flash.
Okay, you know, that's make-believe, right? No one can get super speed by getting struck by lightning. That's impossible. And that's not what we're talking about today. You didn't pay attention to the whole thing.
I heard the word fast, and I thought that was good enough.
Oh, we would say go out fast, especially with a relationship with God. That means we give something up to show God we're serious about getting closer to Him.
It's like what?
So, say somebody's sick, and we really want God to step into this person's life. So one of the things we can do is we can give something up. Usually it's food, but it doesn't have to be. We give up food to show God we're serious, because God honors the sacrifice. So if we sacrifice food from our lives, He'll honor that, or whatever.
So you're saying we need to fast food? So like McDonald's, Wendy's, if we go and eat those things, God will respect us by eating McDonald's.
It could
a proud
be
sponsor of Kids Blast.
Okay, but it's wrong. Fast. Once again, it's fast as in we're fasting. But we're not talking about fast food. We're talking about not eating food to show God we're serious.
So when you do it, God doesn't go ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
No, He does not do that.
He doesn't do that?
No
okay.
product placement here.
So you have to give up food and not eat it.
Right, not eat it.
Okay, I can do that.
Oh, you can? Like what? What are you going to give up?
I would give up Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
I would give up croutons.
Croutons.
I would give up Squid sushi.
Wait, oh, yeah. You don't like any of those things.
Well, yeah, that's why I would give them up, because it's easy to give up. I don't want to eat those.
No, I don't think that doesn't show God you're serious. You can't give up something you don't like, because what big deal is that? You have to give something up you do like desserts, no cake.
No cake?
Or no candy.
But Walmart makes such good cake.
Okay, or no soda pop.
No soda pop?
Whatever, maybe meat. Some people do what they call a Daniel fast, where they don't eat meat for a certain period of time.
So we can only give up food?
Well, no, you could give up social media, you give up TikTok,
You can give up TikTok?
You could give up TikTok.
I don't think that's possible.
It's possible.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok.
You know the dances though, right?
Nah.
You're pretty trendy and you're up to date with the kids.
No, I'm not that up to date. At least that's not what my daughter says.
You don't know any of the TikTok trends?
No, this is the only one I move.
Huh? Oh, that's a start. Yeah, but someone else can throw it to you. I'll throw you one. Ready? What?
Oh, my
I'm sorry. I threw it too hard.
Try again.
Okay, ready? Oh, wow.
TikTok style.
Yeah, you can do it like when the bass drops and it's really cool and everyone's like, wow. Anyways,
that's not what we're talking about.
Yes, we're talking about.
We want to give something up. We give video games, we give up all sorts of things. Something important that we do a lot that we really, really like to show God we're serious.
So you're saying that I don't need super speed?
You don't need super speed to fast for God. No.
I wish you would have told me that earlier. Well, see, Walmart and I had a plan that we were going to do it.
Is that thunder?
It sounds like thunder.
Good thing we didn't do this. Awesome. Whew,
yeah.
That's close.
Yeah, good thing we didn't do that. Because that would be dangerous,
it would
right?
Be dangerous. It could be dangerous.
Because it's make-believe, you would just get hurt. And,
no, you really could get hurt. That's not make-believe.
So Pastor Steve,
what?
Walmart and I were planning on doing it together. And
were.
I'm pretty sure Walmart's still out there.
Yikes.
And I think... Oh no! Walmart, no! Walmart, I'm coming for you!
Right.
What?
Do I smell hamburgers?
Did you have hamburgers for lunch?
I didn't have hamburgers for lunch.
I didn't have hamburgers for lunch either. Walmart, are you cooking hamburgers down here?
Thanks.
I found them!
Oh, good.
You was just in the kitchen making hamburgers for us. Okay, you didn't go out there.
Okay, that's good.
We're all set.
All right. So you're just going to stay down in your dungeon?
Yeah, I think I'll stay down here then.
So he's going to stay down in his dungeon, and we're going to go hear a pastor story. We're going to go hear a Bible story from Pastor
Don! Pastor Steve!
Yeah?
Walmart would like to know if you like pickles on your hamburger.
I do like pickles on my hamburger.
Would you like lettuce?
Lettuce?
Ketchup and mustard?
Yes, please.
Cheese?
I like cheese.
What about tomatoes?
Yeah, I like tomatoes.
Is this tomato ripe enough for you? I don't know if it... I gotcha. I'm just kidding. We don't have any tomatoes.
We don't have any tomatoes.
No,
okay.
tomatoes are gross.
All right, so we're all done. Can boys and girls, can you count of 3? Can you say goodbye, Feathers? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, Feathers. Feathers, can you say goodbye, Feathers?
Oh yes, I can do that. Goodbye, Feathers. Super speed.
Goodbye, Feathers. Let's go hear a Bible story from Pastor Janet.
Hi everyone, we are going to go into the Old Testament for our story today. It's a story that includes people that were fasting so that God would not only hear them, but would do something really, really great for them. Listen how fasting plays a part of this Old Testament story. We are going to go into the book of Esther into the Old Testament, of course, so then we need Queen Esther. And how she became queen, well, that's a whole other story. And if you want to know about it, you'll need to go to Esther and read chapters 1 and 2 to find out how she became queen. Queen Esther was a Jew. Now, they were in a country that the Jews didn't control. Somebody else was in control. They were exiles. They were foreigners. They were the outcasts. They were not in control. And so when she became queen, nobody knew that she was a Jew. But her uncle, Mordecai, did know it because he was a Jew too. And he was the one that told her to keep it a secret. And she did. Well, eventually there was a guy who came along. His name was Haman. And Haman hated the Jews. And so he went to the king and he had him make up this law that said that on a certain day in the future that everybody else could pick up their swords and kill all the Jews and take all of their land and all of their houses and everything that they owned. And the Jews couldn't do anything about it because they were a bad thing in their country. That's what Haman said, and that's what the king believed. So he wrote it into law. Well, as you can imagine, soon enough then Mordecai found out about that and became very upset because he was going to die, Esther was going to die, all of his friends and family were going to die. And so he came to Esther and he told her about this new law. And she was like, well, what do you want me to do about it? And he was like, well, you're the queen, you should do something about this. You can't keep silent at a time like this. That's pretty good advice, because there are times when we need to speak up, speak out about things that aren't right. Queen Esther needed to do that right now. Well, she was a little bit scared because nobody could go in to see the king just any old time. You see, it was very different back then. Actually, even though they were husband and wife, she needed to be invited in to see the king by the king himself. And that was the same for all the other people too. They had to wait for an invitation from the king. And it had been 30 days, a whole month, since the king had asked the queen to come and see him. And so Esther was a little nervous because if she waltzed in and the king didn't put out his scepter, his stick that he holds, towards her, then she would die. She would be killed right then and there. So Esther said, I don't know. And Mordecai said, what if you have been placed in this place at this time for just this purpose? That's pretty good advice too, right? Sometimes we get into places that we didn't ask to be in, but hang on and wait. See what God is going to do in that. I believe that God has a purpose when he puts us someplace. So maybe moving wasn't your idea of a great time. Maybe a new classroom in the fall kind of has you a little bit scared, like Esther was a little bit scared. Wait and see what God has for you in this place at this time, right? That's what Mordecai was saying. And so Esther kind of bolstered her courage at that point, and she said to Mordecai, okay, I will go in and see the king, and whatever happens, happens. It'll be in God's hands, right? Then she told Mordecai, I've got a plan. This is what I want you to do. Go to all the Jews, every Jew that you can, spread the word. We are all going to fast for the next 3 days and 3 nights. And everyone in my palace is going to do that too. Now, fasting, usually that's no food and just water for 3 days and 3 nights. And in Queen Esther's case, that was what she did. Now, it can be other things too. Watching a certain show, you could stop playing basketball for an hour or a day or a week or a couple days, whatever it is that you and God decide on. And then you spend that time that you would have been doing that thing in prayer. Asking God for something specific, asking a great big question of him, asking him to do something really big and mighty. And that's what Queen Esther was doing. She was saying, I want God to soften the king's heart so that when I go in to see him, he'll be receptive to what I have to say, and we can think of another way out of this mess, because none of them wanted to die, right? So all of them fasted. Mordecai spread the word. Everybody was fasting, and they did that for 3 days. And then Queen Esther walked in to see the king, and she kind of waited. What was he gonna do? He puts out his scepter towards her, and she comes to him. She's so excited, and the king says, I was just thinking about you. I am so glad that you've come to see me. Now, who does that? Except our God, right? All that fasting meant that the king's heart was softened, and he was starting to think about seeing Queen Esther again. And here she was. And so the king says, what do you want? And Queen Esther says, I just want you and Haman to come to a special feast, a special banquet tomorrow at my place. And the king was really excited. Haman was really, really excited because here he was, right? With the king and the queen and him, just a nice little supper, a nice little meal together. He thinks, whoo, I'm pretty proud, I'm pretty special, right? That wasn't really the case. And when they get there to have this great big feast together, the king turns to the queen and says, now what do you really want, right? Because nobody risks death over a meal. And the queen said, well, just come to a meal again tomorrow, just the two of you, and we will have another meal together. That's what I would like. And so the king says, okay, and he agrees to it. And Haman and the king come again the next day. And then the next day is when Queen Esther springs the whole thing on the king, that Haman had this law that said that her and all of her family was going to die, and they couldn't do anything about it. And the king got really mad, and he arrested Haman. He couldn't believe that he had done this, but a law was a law, and even the king couldn't change it. So then Mordecai and Esther and the king got together and came up with another plan, another way that the Jews were able to pull out their own swords and defend themselves so that they didn't get hurt. And sure enough, when that day came, the Jews defended themselves, and not a single Jew died that day, because God was helping them. God was on their side. Do you see how Esther's plan of fasting helped them with their whole thing? That made sure that God was in the midst of it, and they were listening to what he wanted them to do. And now we head to the illusion.
Hi, boys and girls. Oh, wait a minute. You can't hear me? I said hi, boys and girls. Today I want to just talk about, we talk about fasting and how important that is for Christians, and how you and I can fast something to sacrifice something in our pursuit of God to get closer to God. And that's very, very, very important in our Christian walk. Being a Christian just doesn't happen. It's something we need to work at every day, and that's what we've talked about all throughout Kids Blast. Why did Kids Blast started? Well, it started because of, not because of the mask, because of COVID. Maybe it started with me whining to God because we couldn't go anywhere anymore in our ministry. Pastor Janet and I are evangelists. And then I also looked at my kids in my own church, and they didn't have anything to go to or anything that would help feed them spiritually. And then we started looking around at just what was on the internet for kids. There was nothing out there for kids that would help them grow, and they couldn't go to church anymore. So that's why Kids Blast started. God wanted us to do something instead of whining about, we can't go anymore, any place, God. What are we going to do? He said, well, do this. So with the help of Pastor Janet, our son Adam, Feathers, all those guys, we decided to do Kids Blast. It's about ready to end. You're going back to church. A lot of you are back to school, or you will go back to school. Pastor Janet and I have a full summer. June and July are very, very full right now. So I think Kids Blast is coming to an end, and this is our last episode, unless God changes our mind or does something miraculous. This is it. So I guess not that we don't need to be around anymore, but we're just going to go back and do what God's called us to do in the very first place. So what about these? Well, you know what? We don't need them anymore. Hopefully. We may sometime soon. And hopefully we'll never have to do Kids Blast ever again for something bad, which is something we all can pray about. But we just don't need to do it anymore. And we just don't need masks anymore. So, what do we want to remember to do? Well, of course, you want to remember to go to church. That's very, very important. You want to pray. You want to read your Bible. You want to fast. Do those things that are going to bring you closer to God. You want to surrender everything to God. That's very, very, very important. So, for the last time, what do you want to remember to do? Well, keep washing those hands. It's a good practice to follow. Love your neighbor. Love your family. Love God. Pastor Steve. Oh, what? I can't get out of the video frame. What do I? No, it's closing in. Yikes. Pastor Steve. Oh, bye.